It's Tuesday stitch time. Grab your hook and yarn. We're making something cozy, cute and warm. New stitch, new trick, let's learn today. Easy steps, I'll guide the way. Whether you're new or stitching pro, come along, let's hook and go.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Pseudo's Crochet and More. I am behind my chair because I want to show you, obviously you see it from the thumbnail, the electric slide blanket. Now, this was measured for a 5'3" person, me, but it actually wound up being a lot taller than that. So, but it's also got enough room to wiggle around with, all that good stuff. So yeah, it's well more than enough room to cover me. I did add a border to it, which there is a tutorial for that if you want to stick around for that as well. But this is actually wide enough this direction to wrap around me if I wanted to not have it cover up my whole body. So this is what it looks like this way. So if you want to use it this direction, you can, but it was designed to go this way. And I know I have those tails that still need to be hidden. Those are the only two tails actually. But it was designed for this way. So they look like, to me, they look like electric bolts. So if you're wanting to learn how to make this, stick around. I'm going to go down to the table and I will do the stitch tutorial for the electric slide blanket. Alright, now that you've seen what the blanket looks like, let's go ahead and start the stitch tutorial for the electric slide blanket. This is a multiple of 19 plus 2. I am using a different colors for the tutorial because black is really hard to see. So I'm going to use this blue, this aqua to represent black. I will be using the same white that I used in the blanket for in between. And then I'm going to use this for the neon color. This is a 6-row repeat. It's not a hard repeat. Don't be discouraged about it being 6 rows. Because you do 3 rows of the black, 1 row of white, 1 row of the neon, 1 row of the white, and then back to the black. So it's a very easy repeat. Now, the way that I designed this blanket was to work it from your height to width. So if you want to do it the other direction from width to height, that's perfectly fine. It's just that the design is not going to look exactly like an electric bolt. That's what I designed it to look like. So if you want it to look like an electric bolt when whoever gets it is using it, then you'll want to know how tall they are. And you may want to take about 1 inch because it's going to shrink up a little bit with the stitch pattern, and I will measure it once I chain up the swatch amount. If you're following along with me, I did 211 chains. So if you're about 5'3", it'll be 211 chains. It's actually really, it comes up to my neck and is actually off of my feet. It's hanging on the floor. That's how much extra I did. But I wanted to make sure that it was long enough. If I decided to keep it, it was going to work for me. Again, if you're taller, you're going to need to chain up more than 211. If you're making it for somebody who's smaller, obviously you're not going to need that many chains. I am using a 5.5 millimeter crochet hook. It is an inline hook, but whatever hook you need to use to match my gauge, which will be in the written pattern. If I am able to, I will put it up in the corner for you, either up here or over on that corner, to tell you the gauge with using the 5.5 millimeter crochet hook. With using the oh my gosh, my brain went blank. With using my 5.5 and my tension. So you may need to up your hook, you may need to down your hook. It's all up in however you crochet. I think I'm kind of in between loose and tight. I think I'm like mediocre tension, but everybody's different. So I'm gonna chain up 40 to start. So it's 2 of the 19 plus the 2. You also will need a stitch marker because you'll want to mark your chain 2s, because that does count as a double crochet. So I'm going to go ahead and chain up 40. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, and 40. Okay, there's my 40. And I'm going to go ahead and measure this. And then I'm going to measure it after we do the first row. So let's go ahead here. So it's a little over 11 inches. And I will get the exact measurements in the written pattern, but if I can add it to this, I will add it up in this corner or the other corner. Now I did say stitch marker, but I meant stitch markers. So make sure you have at least 2. This one I prefer. I like these, but they need to be like worked a little bit. It's just my opinion. So we're going to go ahead and skip the first 2 chains from the hook. So actually, let's go ahead. I'm going to mark the chain right below the one on the hook, because that's going to be your first double crochet. And this is why I don't kind of like these. I'm going to use the other one. It's easier to get in and stuff. Alright, just mark that one. Now we're going to double crochet into the 3rd chain from the hook. So we're going to skip 1, 2, and go into the 3rd. If you can grab both of these, the top loop and the middle loop, go ahead and do it. If you cannot, that's okay. We're going to yarn over, insert our hook into that 3rd chain from the hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And there's your mark for that one. So that's 1. We're going to do that 4 more times. Yarn over, go into the next stitch, chain, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, we've got 2. Yarn over, go into the next chain, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. We've got 3. We need 2 more. Okay, next chain, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. We have 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We need one more. Next chain, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, so we have 6 double crochets technically. The chain 2 counts as your first one. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to do 3 double crochets together over the next 3 stitches. So yarn over, go into the next chain. This is going to create our valley. Pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over. We're going to go into the next chain to pull up a loop. Yarn over, pull through 2. We've just done 2. We need one more, so into the next chain. If you can, get both loops. If not, that's okay. Pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. You should have 4 loops on your hook. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yarn over and pull through all 4 loops. Now you've just done your first 3 double crochets together. Now we're going to do 1 double crochet into the next 10 chains. So yarn over, into the next chain, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. I'm going to do that 9 more times. Two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, 9, and we got one more to make 10. In the next stitch, we're going to make our next chain. We're going to make our peak, which is 1 double crochet, chain 1, 1 double crochet. Chain 1, back into that same stitch for 1 more double crochet. And now we're going to work the valley. 1 double crochet into the next 5 chains. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is the 5th one, 5. And then we're going to do a valley again, so that's 3 double crochets together. So yarn over, insert your hook into the next chain, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, insert your hook into the next chain, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, insert into the next chain, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. You should have 4 loops on your hook. yarn over, pull through all 4 loops. Now we're going to do our last peak. It's going to be a weird one. You should have 11 chains left. You're going to put 1 double crochet into each of the remaining 11 chains. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. This 11 is the half of the peak. So it's not a full peak, it's just a half a peak. And then we're going to chain 2, 1, 2, put your stitch marker into that chain right below the one on your hook. Now, if you know how to find your chain 2, you do not have to use stitch markers. This is for if you're not sure where to put your last stitch or stitches at. Okay, so make sure you mark that if you're still working on how to find that. Turn your work. And this is what it's going to look like. Well, I'm not going to turn it just yet. This is what row 1 will look like when you're done with it. Now, it will be, you could use a darker color, lighter color. That's all up to you, honestly. But this is how it's going to look. It's going to be a very short chain, and then a very long, and then a short, then a long. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and turn the work for row 2. Now row 2, we're going to put 1 double crochet into that very first chain. This does count as your first one, but we need 2 here. So go ahead and put your first double crochet, and then we're going to double crochet all the way to our valley. So 9 more double crochets. That's 1, that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Your last stitch should be right before the stitch before the 3 double crochet together. If you're right next to the 3 double crochet together from the first row, then you missed a stitch, or you miscounted. So just make sure that your last double crochet before this here is right before this stitch. So now we're going to do the 3 double crochet together, yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. yarn over, insert your hook into the top of the 3 double crochet from the previous row, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, go into the next stitch, which is on the other side of that 3 double crochet, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. You should have 1, 2, 3, 4 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 4. Okay, now I did want to let you know, and I'm sorry I did not say this before, but the row 1 is the right side. Row 2 is the wrong side. Yarn over, and we're going to do 5 double crochets to get to the peak, and then we'll do the peak. Insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over into the next one, pull up a loop, yarn over. Okay, and continue that, making sure that there's 5 double crochets after the 3 together. And that is the repeat until you get down to the end of the row. Okay, so we have 3 more to do. Insert your hook into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over into the next stitch, pull up a loop, you got 3, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And that information is on the written pattern. So then we got 1 more, which is the last stitch here before your chain 1 space. So yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Now we're going to do our peak. So yarn over, 1 double crochet, chain 1, 1 double crochet into that chain 1 space. Then we go and do 10 double crochets down to the valley again. Okay. If you want to speed up to the end of the row to see how I finish the row, that's fine. If you're still working, you can pause it when it gets there and then come back when you're ready to finish the row. Okay, getting close here. My yarn got kind of tangled up here. One moment while I untangle it. There we go. Okay. I hope you enjoy this video today. It is a longer video than I usually do. So, all right, let's see. There should be number 10. I kind of lost count, but I'm seeing that I'm right before that 3 double crochet, so let's double check. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep. All right. So now we do our 3 double crochet together. So insert yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. 1, 2, 3, 4 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through all 4. All right, now we are at the end of the row. Now we are going to see only 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches left. Well, where does the rest of them go? That's why we need to make sure that we mark our chain 2, because your 5th and 6th stitch will go into that chain 2 space. So we're going to go ahead and double crochet into the next 4 stitches. You always need to make sure that you end your rows with either 6 double crochets or 11 double crochets on these this point right here. Okay, that was 2, 3. One more is 4. Now it's going to be tight to get into this chain 2. So if you want to, you can always try to make this a little bigger when you do your starting chain to get into that, because it's not going to be this stitch because we just worked that for 4. This right here is for 5 and 6. I'm going to go ahead and remove this. So if you're not using stitch markers, you know how to find it. So we just used the last stitch of the previous row. Right below that is your turning chain. Now, sometimes it's easy to get into and sometimes it's a pain in the butt, but try to grab both loops. The first one will probably be easy to get into, but not the second one always. Yarn over and pull up a loop. That's number 5. Got to do that one more time for number 6. It should be a little easier to get in that space once you do your first one. Not always. It was easy to get in, but not apparently out. Come on, work with me, hook. Okay, there we go. Alright, and that's 6. Okay, now we're going to chain 2. 1 and 2. Make sure you mark that stitch with your stitch marker. Again, if you know how to find that chain 2, that's fine. You can leave that off. You don't have to use it. Turn your work. And we're going to be working on row 3 now. Row 3 is a repeat of row 1. I'm trying to pull up my yarn. It's on the underneath me on my right side, so it's being particularly crazy right now. So we're going to yarn over. We're going to put 1 double crochet into the first stitch. And then 1 double crochet into the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stitches. Okay, that's 2, 3, 4, 5. What the heck happened here? Well, hold on. Something happened. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I'm right. I'm just counting wrong. Sorry about that. Alright, so 1 double crochet to the next 4 stitches, because that's 1. So this is 2, 3, and 4. Which is actually 5. Okay, so, well, 1, 2, 3, 4. Take that back. That was 4. 1 more for 5. Okay, there's 5. Alright. So, row 3 is going to mirror row 1. Okay? So, now we're at the 3 double crochet spot together. So, yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch, which is right on top of the previous 3 double crochets together. Pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch, which is on the other side of the 3 double crochet. Pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through 2. You should have 4 loops on your hook, yarn over, and pull through all 4. Okay. Then we do 10 double crochets, peek, 5 double crochets, 3 together, 11 double crochets. So, now, this thing is driving me nuts here. I'm sorry, I'm untangling yarn back here. Oh I'll be right back to the tutorial in just a moment. Alright. Okay, yarn over, and next 10 1 double crochet, next 10 stitches. Two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And now we are at our peak, so that's 1 double crochet, chain 1, 1 double crochet into the chain 1 space. And then we do 5 double crochets down to get to the peak, the valley. We just did the peak, the valley. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we do our 3 together, which is yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, 4 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through all 4. And now we do 11 double crochet. It's going to be 9 double crochet and then 2 double crochet into the top of the turning chain. The turning chain. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9. Okay, and then we go into the turning chain to put 10 and 11. I'm going to go ahead and remove the stitch marker. That's 10 and 11. Now, we're going to fasten off. Turn your work. And now we're going to add the white. So get your white yarn or whatever color yarn you're going to use. If you want to use white, if you don't want to use white, that's fine. We're going to go into that top of that last double crochet. This is how you can attach it however you want to. If you want to change color at the end of the last row, that's fine. This is the way that I feel works best for me, but whatever works best for you is fine. I am going to chain 2, 1 and 2. I'm going to mark that chain 2. Now this chain 2 counts as a single crochet. The reason why I did chain 2 was the first chain kind of more or less attaches to the yarn, the row. So we're going to be doing single crochet with white. So we're going to insert our hook back into that first stitch. Now I'm going to hide my tail with this row, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through 2. We're going to do that all the way down to the valley, which is another 9 stitches. So insert your hook into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 2 loops. Insert your hook into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Keep doing that down to the valley. The valley is going to be a little different than what you would normally do for a 3 single crochets together. So definitely want to make sure that you follow the way that I did it. Otherwise yours is going to, your gauge is not going to be the same as mine. So, all right. So that's okay. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now here we go. This is the way I'm doing the 3 single crochets together. Instead of, I know that this is not the traditional single crochets together. That's why I want you to make sure that you you listen and pay attention to this part. Because this is how the white rows are going to go. They're single crochet, and the single crochets together are a little different, as well as the peak part is too. So we're going to go ahead and insert our hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through 1. Insert your hook into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through 1. Okay? Not yarn over, but insert your hook into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 1. You're still going to have 4 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through all 4. And you've just made your first 3 single crochets together for this blanket, or this pattern, I should say. Like I said, it's a little different than your normal 3 single crochets together. And there's our valley. Now we're going to work up to our peak, which will be 5 single crochets to the peak. So insert your hook into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through both loops. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Alright, now we're at our peak. Peaks with the white is going to be 1 single crochet, chain 2, 1 single crochet into the chain 1 space. So pull up a loop, there's 1 single crochet, chain 2, insert your hook back into that chain 1 space, and do 1 more single crochet. And there is your peak with white. Okay, and now we're going to insert our hook into the next stitch. We're going to do 5 or 10 double crochets down to the valley. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then we're going to do our special 3 single crochets together. I say it's special because that's just how I'm feeling about it right now. So insert your hook into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 1. Insert your hook into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 1. Insert your hook into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 1. You'll still have 1, 2, 3, 4 loops on your hook. Yarn over and go through all 3. Okay. Then we're going to do 6 single crochet. And again, the last 2 are going to be at the top of the turning chain. So 4 single crochets, then 2 single crochet. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then into the turning chain, we're going to do 2 single crochets. I'm going to remove this. Okay, that's 1. Go back into that same spot and do 1 more. And that's 2. And we're going to fasten off white. There will be, if you don't hide your tails when you start a new row with a different color, you will have a lot of tails to hide if you don't hide them like I did with the white. When I started white, I hid that tail, so I didn't have to worry about hiding that. So now we're going to turn our work. So that's the white with the single crochet. Now you'll grab your neon color or whatever color you wish to use. I'm going to grab this purplish pink color. We're going to add this one to the flow here. So you're going to make sure that you're in the top of the last single crochet with your hook. And again, however you want to change or attach your new color, that is perfectly fine. This is just the way that it works best for me. So, all right, there we go. And I'm going to hide that tail as well while working this one. So there's this one. Now with the neon, we're going back to the double crochet. So we're going to still chain 2. 1, 2. I'm going to mark that chain 2. And then we're going to put 1 more double crochet into that first stitch. And then we're going to do 4 more double crochet to get down to the 3 together. That's 1. That's 2. Three. 4 and 5. Okay, and then we're at our 3 double crochets together. This will curl a little bit. If you follow the video for adding a border, that will kind of flatten out a little bit, but that's up to you. So we're going to do the 3 double crochets together, yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, go into the last stitch, which is the next one. Okay, you should still have 1, 2, 3, 4 loops on your hook, yarn over, and pull through all 4. And then it's 10 double crochets up to the peak. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay. Now here, we did the chain 2. So just make sure when you're working this chain 2 space that you pull these 2 single crochets apart, because otherwise you're going to kind of pull in, you're going to go kind of in between those stitches when you're pulling up for your double crochet chain 1 double crochet. Okay, there's the peak, and then we're going to do the 5 double crochets down to the valley. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's what it's looking like so far. And then we've got the 3 together. So we're going to yarn over, insert our hook into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, go into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 4. And then we have our last repeat back up to the peak, so it'll be 9 double crochets, and then into the chain 2, which is going to be a little tricky because this is a single crochet, this last one. We're going to put 2 in there, and you might hear me possibly cuss, I don't know. We'll see how well it works out, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 9 is the one right before that. 9, and then I'm going to go ahead and remove this stitch marker, but because this is a smaller stitch, it may be harder for you to find that top of the chain 2 for your first single crochet. What I can suggest is making that a little bit bigger for that loop, and hoping that it doesn't shrink too much for you. There is still a possibility that it can get a little small. So we're going to go ahead and yarn over. We're going to get into that first side and then the next side. Watch, this is probably going to be easier for me today because I'm on camera and it's not going to cause me too much of a headache. Maybe. Okay. Yarn over. Pull through that. Pull that loop up, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. That's 10. Got to do that one more time. And 11. Okay. Well, maybe. Okay, there we go. Whew, I almost lost it there. Okay. Then we're going to fasten this one off. Again, if you want to do it a different way where you change colors on that last stitch, that's up to you. That never works out for me very well. So, yeah. I'm not sure what happened there, but it looks like part of the loop got split or something. when it went through there, but whatever. So that is that, and now we're going to go back to the white. So turn your work. We're going to attach white. Like I said, this is not a very hard repeat. It just seems like it might be because I said it's 6 rows, but that's 3 here, and then these 3 here are the repeat. So it's not that, in my opinion, it's not that hard. But if you think, you know, it's just making sure that you're following whichever, if you're doing 10 double crochets or 5 double crochets at the start of your row. So I've gone ahead and attached my white. I'm going to cover that white up as I work it. So I'm going to chain 2 again, 1, 2. Then I'm going to mark that top of that chain, the one right below the one on the hook. And now we're going to do one single crochet into that first stitch, and 1 into the next 9 stitches to get to our valley. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, one more for 10, 10. Okay, and again, you should end, whether it's your 5 or your 10 to get to the valley, you should have 1 stitch right before the previous 3 double crochets together. So now we're going to do the special 3 single crochets together. So we're going to insert our hook into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 1. Insert your hook into the next stitch, which will be the previous 3 double crochets together, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 or 1, and then yarn over or insert, yarn over. I'm so sorry. It's insert your hook, no yarning over. Insert your hook into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 1. You should still have 4 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over and pull through all 4 loops. And then we're going to do 5 double crochet to the peak, and we'll redo the special on that peak again. So 1 single crochet, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now we're at the peak, so it's 1 single crochet, 2, chain 2 single crochet. So pull, there we go, chain 2, and 1 more single crochet into that chain 1 space. And then we're going to do 10 double crochets going down to the valley, and 10 single crochets, my bad, 10 single crochets down to the valley. 10 single crochets. I'm just saying that because I keep saying the other one, and that's not the right one we're using right now. So now if you're following along with how many I did, you'll just keep repeating this until the very end where you're at your stitch marker, and where you do the extra 2 stitches in the top of the turning chain. So just keep, you know, keep doing the pattern, however many multiples you did of the 19. Alright, that should be 10. Let me just double check here. You can always double count your stitches. It's a very good idea to do that I kind of missed a couple when I was working on mine, the blanket that you've seen at the very beginning, because I was working with black, and black, it is very hard to see, so knowing where and feeling, seeing and feeling where your stitches are is very important. So, alright, so let me count here. That was that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright, so now we're down to our 3 single crochets together, special stitch. So insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 1. Insert your hook into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 1. Insert your hook into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 1. 1, 2, 3, 4 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 4. And then we have the last 4 double crochets, and then your turning chain. So we're going to do 1 single crochet into the last 4 double crochets. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then I'm going to remove my stitch marker so we can put the last 2 in the turning chain. Now, this will probably be easy to get into because I'm, working from a double crochet row, but it still can be a little tricky to get into that spot. So we're going to go ahead and get in there. Let's see, that one. Well, yep, it's that one. Okay. And of course, when you're working with the darker colors, it can be even more tricky to find. So my suggestion is to use your stitch markers if you're planning on using the black like I did, as well as trying to make that second chain a little bit looser than the first one. So that's 5 and 6, and then you're going to fasten off. Fasten off. And that is that. Now I'm going to show you one more time with this color on how to work the next row, and then it will be up to you on how you want to continue. So it's 3 rows of your dark color, 1 row of white in single crochet, your neon color, 1 row of single crochet in white, and then you repeat back to your dark color after the white, the second white. So I'm going to go ahead and turn my work, get my teal aqua color here. If I can find the end of it now, because I kind of put it off to the side so it wasn't in my way. Well, I hope you guys are enjoying this video. Like I said, this is the first time I've done something this big in a tutorial, so I appreciate anybody that watches it. As I mentioned in the border, in the next part where I show you how I did my border, that if you decide to make this, please either email me a picture or you can post it on the Facebook page. I will be posting mine on the Facebook page as well. Okay, where the heck did the end of this thing go to? Alright, this is gonna drive me nuts. I should have been more prepared, but I'm never that prepared. My husband went and laid down with my daughter after breakfast this morning, because I am recording this part on Sunday. I started the border yesterday, and I'm recording this tutorial part today on Sunday, May 31st. You guys will see this on Tuesday. I will have posted the written tutorial on the merch site either later today, Sunday, or Monday. I'm not sure which one when I'll be able to get that, because I want to make sure I have everything in the right order and all that. So, alright, so after your white, after your neon, you're going to attach your main dark color, whatever you pick. It doesn't have to be dark. I think the black really does make the neon color pop a little bit more, but if you cannot work with black, that's totally fine. You can pick whatever color you want. You can always do it all in white if you want, and then just make sure that your fourth row is white in single crochet and not double crochet. So that is something to take into consideration. Alright, now I'm attaching this, chaining 2. I'll mark it with my stitch marker. Actually, I'm not going to, because I'm not going to go after this. So, alright, now, get my tail here. Move that one out of the way. Alright, so I'm going to yarn over, insert my hook into that first stitch to do my first double crochet for this row. And then we're going to do 4 more double crochets to get down to the valley. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, if you needed to, again, if you don't need to, you don't have to mark this chain 2 from the double crochet rows. I would highly suggest it though for your single crochet rows to mark those. Right, and then we're going to do the 3 double crochet together. So that's pulling up a stitch, pulling up a loop in the next stitch, yarning over, pull through 2, yarn over, go into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, go into that next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, and then you should have 4 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 4. And then you'll just do 10 double crochets to go to the peak. One, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and one more to make 10. And then 1 double crochet, chain 1, 1 double crochet into the chain 2 space from the previous row. Double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. And then it's 5 double crochets down to your valley. One, 2, 3, and 4, and one more for 5. And then 3 double crochets together on over the next 3 stitches. Yarn over, pull up a stitch, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull up a loop in the next stitch, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull up a loop in the next stitch, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 4. And then we have the last, once you get there, your last 9 double crochets and then 2 double crochets into the top of the turning chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay, and then I'm going to remove this stitch marker to place my last 2 double crochets. Make sure you grab both loops if you can. If not, that's okay. If you decide to do the border, you will be able to cover up if you did not get through both of those loops. Again, it can be frustrating, so there's 1 and 1 more for 11. And that is the end of the, so if you were to go on, you would chain 2 and then double crochet into the first stitch and then 9 more, and then do your valley and then 5 double crochet up to get to your peak. Your peak is double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, and then 10 double crochet down, back down to the valley, which is then 3 double crochets together, and you repeat this color for 3 rows, and then you switch to your white, then you switch to your neon color, and then you switch back to white, and then you switch back to your dark color, light color, white if you want to. But just remember your 4th row of, if you decide to use white, your 4th row is going to be single crochet, and then you'll change it to your neon, and then after your neon is single crochet again, and then if you want to, you can change back, you can change back to the 3 rows of double crochet. I think this looks really nice again when you use it against the black. Like, I'll show you a piece of the blanket, not the whole thing, but if you see here on how this like really pulls out that from the black to the white to the neon, back to the white, then the black, it kind of pulls that neon color out a little bit more, in my opinion, with using the darker color. Again, if you cannot use the darker color, that's fine. It's not set in stone you have to use black. If you can't use black because you can't see it, or it's too hard for you to work with, you can use gray or a nice blue or something that would be, because this is the design of an electric bolt. For me, this is an electric bolt design, because it's short, it's sharp, it's short, it's long, it's short, it's long. So I didn't want to do a standard chevron, and I was trying to figure out how I could change it up and how many stitches I should go, and this is what I came up with. Now this will actually look like this when you're using it as a blanket. So these 2 edges, this edge and this one, are going to be either your top or your bottom of the blanket. This is your sides of the blanket. So when you look at it this way, it really does kind of look like a lightning bolt. The blanket is called the electric slide. So again, player's choice on how you design it, but if you choose to use white only and then the neon, just remember that you do need to make sure that the fourth row is single crochet only, because if you don't do it that way, your gauge, and you're gonna use more white yarn either way, but with this you're using less white yarn with the single crochet as opposed to double crochet. So just keep that in mind. I do have, I did use approximately 4 balls of white and 4 black. I maybe used just over 2 without the border of the black, but with the border I did use almost 4 full balls of black. Now white is kind of hard for me to say because I used this and I only have that much left. I mean, it's not a whole lot. I'd say I used half of this. So I'm taking into consideration of the border, because I did use white in the border, to get the same amount of white as you do black. You will need one, or I used one of every color of the neon. I do have extras. I didn't use the whole skein because it was only one row twice of the color for my blanket, as you saw before. So yeah, that is going to be it today. Stay tuned. I will be showing right after this the border, if you decide you want to add the border. I did a total of 75 rows of the blanket before the border. So if you want to do less than that, you can. If you're making it for somebody who's a shorter person, or you're just changing up on if you're going to use it this direction as opposed to this direction. Now I will let you know here, I think these are pretty close to the thickness of the black and the neon. So let me get a measurement for you. On how wide this is this way, and then how big this is this way, from the peak down as well as the valley up. So you kind of, and I will have this in the written instructions as well. So I'm starting it at the 1. Well, I guess I can start it here. So it's almost, I'd say 10 3/4 inch this way. And then from the peak down, well, let me do it this way here. Peak down is 4 inches. 4 inches. And so is the valley. So the peak and the valley measure 4 inches. And that is for 7 rows. So I will input that into the written pattern for the gauge. Now that's with, that's 7 rows of the pattern. So if you want to check your gauge, you'll need to make sure that you do the swatch of 40 and then do 7 rows and then check it. This is 4 inches, this is 4 inches, and this from here to here is about 10 3/4 inches across. So again, I will input that into the written pattern. So if you purchase the pattern, it will be in the description link below, and then you can, let me get this off of me here. decide if you make it bigger, you know, depending on how big you need to make it, will depend on how many multiples you need to do too. So I will add a picture of this as well as the blanket to the written pattern. I'll need to hide my ends here. I need to cut that actually. I'm gonna tie that off. Alright. Alright. So stay tuned. It'll be right after this. So if you want to add a border, it is a very basic border that I added to the blanket. Again, it's all in player's choice. And if you want to do what I did, or if you want to do something more fancy, that's up to you. But, alright. Well, if you're planning on making the border, stick around. And I'll be right back with you. Okay, after your last repeat of your black, the 3 rows of black, you should end on the right side. You'll have your stitch marker in the top corner of your chain 3. We're going to attach the white yarn, your white yarn here. I'm going to go ahead and get my hook into that top of that chain. Well, I'm going to go ahead and remove my stitch marker. That's there so I knew that this was the right corner to start from. I know that this is black. It's okay. I'm just going to do the best I can with you because this is a harder color to see. We're going to attach the white. I've already had that set. We're going to pull that through that. We're going to chain 2, 1, 2. Into that same stitch, I'm going to do 1 double crochet into the top of that chain 2. You can hide your tail at this point if you'd like, or you can leave it out and weave it in later. We're going to do 1 double crochet. That chain 2 does count as your first double crochet. So if you need to mark it, make sure that you mark it with your stitch marker, which is going to be this spot right here. Oh, I'm not using that one. I'm using the bigger one. I forgot that I grabbed the bigger one. Okay. There's your... So that's 1, 2. We're going to do 4 more double crochets to make 6. So that's across. And so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 6. And then we're going to do 3 double crochets together on top of the previous ones. So that's yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, go into the next stitch, which will be the top of your previous 3 double crochets together, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, go into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. You'll have 1, 2, 3, 4 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over and pull through all 4 loops. You've just made the 3 double crochets together. Now we're going to do 10 double crochets up to get to the peak. 1. I'm not going to cover that up. I'll just snip that later. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. And 10. And then you should be at the chain 1 space. We're going to put 2 double crochets into the chain 1 space. 1, chain 1, and then another double crochet into that same chain 1 space. And then we're going to do 5 double crochets and then 3 double crochets together. That is the repeat for the top part of the border. So I'm going to do that one more time with you. Make sure that you do not miss this first double crochet. You may miss it because it will be could be possibly covered up by the white. So make sure you don't miss that. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 double crochet. And then we're going to do the 3 double crochet together. So yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2. Yarn over, go into the next stitch, which will be at the top of the previous 3 double crochets together. Pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, go into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, and then pull through all 4 stitches. And then it's 10 double crochet going back up. Make sure you feel if you're using black, and I know that this is probably a really bad color to be using, but it does work very well with the rest of the blanket. So feel for your stitches if you have to. So that's the last one. So we go into the next stitch, do our double crochet up to the peaks. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then 2 double crochet, 1 double crochet, chain 1, 1 double crochet into the chain 1 space. This is your peak. Oh, I just tried to do a single. Alright, double crochet. Chain 1, double crochet. And then 5 double crochet down to the valley. And I'm sorry if you're hearing anything from my living room because I don't know if it's picking it up or not. So again, do not make sure you do not miss this first stitch. Where you go into is actually on the opposite side to the right of the stitch. So make sure that you don't miss that first one. If you're using a different color, you'll be able to see if you miss that. 1, 2, 3, and 4. We got one more, 5. And then we're at our 3 double crochet together to make the valley. So yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, go into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, go into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through 2. You'll have 4 loops on your hook, yarn over, and pull through all 3. And then we have the 10 going back up again. You'll just repeat this for however many, multiples that you did for the size of blanket, whatever you're making with this stitch pattern until the corner. And I will meet you up at the corner to show you how we're going to do the corner for this, so we can turn it and work the top part of the blanket. All right, I'm getting ready to do the last repeat for the row, so I will finish that off here with you. To show you how to end the row. It'll be a little bit easier in the next round to see your stitches. Getting ready to do the valley here. 3 together, 3 double crochets together, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, now we're at the last part of this row. Now we're not doing a full peak, so we're going to do 9 stitches, 9 double crochets, and then 2 into the very last one on this row. So we need to make sure that there's 2 in that one to make the half peak at the end of the row. So there'll be 9 going up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9, and then 10 and 11 in this next one. Now, I did not hide this, I did not weave this in because I'm going to work over top of it going down the top part of the blanket. This is actually the top of the blanket over here. So I'm going to go ahead and do my 2 double crochets in the last stitch. It's 1 and 2. Now, we're going to turn the blanket to work along the edge or the top of the blanket here. And we're going to evenly spread out double crochet. Now, the best way I can think of doing that would be to do 2 double crochet where it's the end of either black or the neon, and 1 double crochet where and you have a white row of single crochet. So I'm going to chain 1 to get our corner. I'm going to go ahead and put 2 more double crochet into the corner here to this last one so we can turn our work. That's 1 and then 2. And then I'm going to put, and I know it's really hard to tell, if you used white here and you're using a different color for the white in between, like between here and here, you should be able to feel where your end of your row is at. So right here, it's going to be an actual double crochet because I didn't do, this was the last row. I'm going to yarn over. I'm going to go around that double crochet and place a double crochet, 1 double crochet. And then I'm going to do that one more time. And then I'm going to go to the next end of the row, which is going to be a chain 2, and put 2 more double crochet. It's going to look kind of funky at first, but it'll work out. You can, however you want to evenly spread out, double crochet all the way down the edge of the blanket here. That's fine. Then I'm going to go down to the next, actually, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do 3 double crochet in that spot. There we go. Okay, 3 double crochet. And 3 double crochet into the next section, the end of the row here, which is going to be kind of hard to, I'm going to go ahead and feel here. You want to go through it, around it, however you want to do it. Just put 3 double crochet at the end of every row that has double crochet. If it's a single crochet row, go ahead and do 2 double crochet all the way around. That's 2, and then we'll do 1 more around that spot to make 3. It is going to dip down a little bit into the rest of your work, which is fine. Totally fine. And then there's 1 more here. 1, 2. Okay. Just gonna go over this one here real quick. I needed to put 1 more here. See, this is the fun part about some borders. You have to kind of work with it. I will make sure that I have the information in the written pattern for you, so if you bought the written pattern, you can follow along there and just, space out your double crochet the best you can. No, I don't like that look. Okay. Let's see why this isn't. Okay, let me actually put 1 more here. There we go. Okay. Maybe that'll work out better. There we go. Okay. So yeah, 3 double crochet around the end of your double crochet rows, and 1 to 2 double crochet around the single, the ones with the white in between at the top and bottom of your neon colors. And if some black shows up in between, that's okay too. Okay. Okay, we're going to do, so here we're going to try to get it around this spot right here. You might be going between a single crochet to get that to work for you. We'll do one more. There we go. And then we've got the double crochet again, so 3 double crochet around that one. Trying to hide these, but you know. Oh, that's not really coming out as even as I thought it was going to. Okay. Pulling out, but I did, because it's not being very cooperative. So okay, that's the corner. Okay, let's see here. Can I get that in that spot? Okay. I don't tend to do borders on blankets, but I figured I would get a border for this blanket because of how it's worked. It felt weird not having a border. So that's not really working out for me either. So I do apologize. I keep pulling out and going back and trying to rework this here. All right, so let's try this. 2, okay. 2. Okay, I think I've got it how I like it now. I hope you guys are liking this blanket tutorial. if you're making this blanket, let me know in the comment section. And if you used all the neon colors, or if you used only a certain color from that. And when I was saying before when I started working on this, is that my mother-in-law was watching tennis and one of her favorite players was playing, and she wasn't doing apparently a very good job today, so she was yelling. So if you hear any yelling in the background, that was what that was about. Her watching her tennis and her player losing. She didn't even want anything to eat because of it. I don't get it, but you know, everybody likes their sports. So, yeah, just continue to evenly space out double crochets along the top of the blanket, and I will meet you up back at the bottom corner to show you how we'll work that corner and turning it to work the bottom of the blanket. Okay, I'm getting close to the end, so I'm going to catch up with you guys. I found as I was working, if you can get your hook into the chain 2s at the end of the double crochet rows, which are the black and the neon, that works out really well. If you cannot do that, that's fine. Just try to get them as close as you can as possible. We will be doing one more row of the border, so if it's not quite even with your stitches, you know, the blanket's still a little odd looking, that's okay, because we're going to do one more row after the white. It will be black, but I am a messy person, and I didn't think leaving it as a white border would be a good idea. So if you don't want to use black as the next color, that's fine too. You can use one of the neon colors if you have enough, or you can use a totally different color. It's up to you. It's all, you know, very customizable with how you create your blanket, or whatever you're making with it. If you're making a scarf or a wrap, you could do anything with this as long as you use the multiple that I have given you at the beginning of the video with just the tutorial for making the electric bolt design. All right. And again, I'm just trying to space these out evenly to kind of like finish off the edges. I wasn't able to put them in. Now your hook might not fit really well into the single crochet rows, but just like I said, just do the best you can. Nobody's perfect. Again, if you want to purchase the written pattern for this blanket, it is available on my merch site. I'm not asking for a whole lot. It's another way to support the channel. Also, if you're interested in all my other merch, it's also there. I don't have a whole lot on there right this moment, but I will add new stuff soon. I try to do holiday related stuff, but by the time I get those things up there, they're like the holidays over with already. So, yeah. So I don't tend to do too much with the holiday, or you know, unless it's you're getting ready for the next one, which is fine. All right, I'm gonna put one more here, down here. Mine are kind of all over the place. Again, not everybody is perfect. We're human. And if you miss a spot, it's okay. As long as your blanket doesn't look too oddly shaped when you're done with it, there's nothing wrong with that. And the border is technically optional. You do not have to add a border if you do not want to. You could add tassels on for the edges, like for right here. And I'm going to make that a chain 2 space when we go around, but to do the bottom part. You could add tassels. You could just leave it alone. You don't even have to add anything extra. If you like how it looks when it's done, that's perfectly fine. You do not have to add a border or anything else to it. The one that's usually in here co-hosting with me, she's not in here right now. She's actually out in the living room, and she doesn't like it when her daddy, well, she doesn't mind when her dad goes riding. It's my other daughter that doesn't like him going out on the bike. Again, that might look a little odd until you get the last piece of the border. And you can make the border as big as you want to. I'm just going to do a 2 round border. Alright, now we're at the corner. And technically this right here, this little piece right here, is part of the first last stitch worked, because this is your knot to attach your yarn to your hook. So I'm going to go ahead and put 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets into that same space. And I'm going to start covering up this tail as well. So that's 1. That's 2. Chain 1, and then I'm going to put 2 more down here in this spot to turn our work. Okay, and now this might be a little difficult for some. I'm going to do the best I can with feeling for the next, where the next stitch is at. And we're going to basically repeat what we did at this is not really the top, it's more the side of the blanket, because this right here we just worked with the white is actually the top of the blanket. This is the side, and this that we worked first is also the side. So, alright, now we just worked the corner. I'm going to put 1 double crochet into the next 10 stitches. Okay, and we should end up right here at this little humpy spot to put a peak. So we're going to go into the next spot and do 1 double crochet. That's 1. If you can grab both of the, if you have both loops on the bottom, go ahead and grab both of them. If you don't, that's okay. Just grab the best you can. If it's just 1, that's okay too. Let's see. 1. No. Hold on. Let me make sure here. Okay. 1, 2, 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. And 10. Okay, and then that's pretty much at the bottom of the peak when we, or the valley when we did it the last time. So we're going to kind of give it the same look on this side, we're going to put a peak here, and I'm going to go ahead and do one more double crochet by itself. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and do the peak in the next one. And I'm just guessing on this. It should be that, but you know, we're going to get as close as we can to having a peak here. Okay, all right, there's a peak. And then we're going to go 6 down to the valley. So we're going to go 6 down, not 5, 6, because we don't have an actual peak here. We just created it. So there's the 1. And if we only need 5, we'll just do 5. Two. I'm going to put that back there. 3, 4, 5. Okay, and let's see here. This is where we did a peak, but we're going to do a valley because it kind of dips in right here. I know that we did the actually, we'll do 6. That was 5, 6. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's just do the 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, we do need to do the 6. No, we don't, because that'll. I'm just making sure when we go back through on the next border that we have the correct amount of stitches to do the valley and the peak. So to make it look right. So we do 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that should be right. Okay. So we're going to do, after 5 double crochets after the peak, we're going to do the valley. So that's 3 double crochets together. So yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch at the bottom of the stitch, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, go into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, go into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, 4 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through all 4. And then we're going to do that same, what we just did here, the next one. I'm making sure this pretty much lines up. Yeah, that pretty much lines up with that. Okay. And that lines up pretty good with that. So, all right. So this one, we're going to do, it should be 10, but I'm going to make sure here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Okay, and then in the next stitch we're going to do the peak. So in the next one we're going to grab the bottom of that stitch, pull up, 1 double crochet, chain 1, 1 double crochet. Alright, well, there we go. Okay, got stuck on something there. Alright, and we're going to go 5 down, do the valley, and then 10 up, and then I will meet you at the other end to show you how we're going to do the next corner. And so I'm going to just show you this one more time. So next we're going to do 5 double crochet going down to get the valley. 1, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we're going to do the valley, which is 3 double crochets together. One, two. I almost did that wrong. Come on, and the third one. And 3. And then 10 double crochet up to the next peak, and again repeat that all the way to the end, and I will meet you back up at the end of this side. Okay, I'm nearing the end of the bottom of the row of the blanket, well, side of the blanket. Going to go ahead and show you how we're going to finish this part here. So I'm on my last valley and then the last peak. So let's go ahead here. So we're gonna do 5 double crochet and then the valley. Again, if you're using a not so dark yarn, you'll be able to see where your stitches are at from row 1 for the bottom part of those stitches to be able to do these. If you're using black, you're going to have to just feel or just try to put your hook through one of those spaces. That was 1, which is what I'm doing right this minute, is just pushing my hook till it goes. 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we're going to go ahead and do the valley. So that's 3 double crochets together. So that's 1, 2, and then 3. 4 loops on your hook, yarn over, go through all 4. Now we're going to work our last peak. Now this should be a total of 6 double crochets. This right here is the, well, no, we're going to do one more peak, which is 10. I'm sorry, 10 double crochets. 10 double crochets to the peak. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, one more for 10. Come on. There we go. And then we're going to do 1 double crochet, chain 1, 1 double crochet into the next stitch. Double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. Okay, and now we're going to go back down to the valley. We're only going to do part of the valley down here. And now we're going to work this side exactly like we did the other side. You're just going to try to double crochet evenly across this edge here. So we need to do 6 double crochets and then our corner, and then turn the work so we can get with the other side here. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the last one here is kind of going to be a little tricky because it was part of the turning chain. So this right here, if you can see that, probably not. This is the turning chain right here. So we're going to go into the bottom of that turning chain to put our last double crochet for this side. So that's 6. Okay. Now we need to turn our work. So what I'm going to do, since this was actually a peak, we're going to go ahead and do 1 more double crochet, chain 1, and then 2 more double crochet into this corner so we can turn our work here. And then we've got our turn right here. And then we're going to go ahead and do evenly down the row, however you can do it. I'm not giving any, like, you have to have so many stitches because it's basically a double crochet border on this blanket. So however you can get it to, you can do double of what you did in rows. You can do exactly what you did in rows. That's up to you. If you're able to get the 2 double crochets in every row, you'll double however many rows you actually did. And I think I wound up doing, before the border, 70 or 75 rows. I ended at an odd row. I think it's 75. So if you did that many rows for your blanket, then if you doubled that, that would be 150 double crochets down the edges, the tops and bottom of the blanket. Okay, that doesn't mean that's what you have to have, but that would be an even distribution of 2 double crochets at the end of every row. Now, for this row, like the single crochet with the white, you're not going to probably get 2 here, maybe 1. So if you do 2, 3, then 1, 3, then 1, or however you want to do it. Again, there's no set number of how many double crochets you need on the edges, which are the top and bottom of the blanket, because how this is constructed, it's worked from height to width. So it doesn't matter, again, how many you can get in each of the ends of the rows, as long as it's evenly distributed. And it doesn't make your blanket even more wonky looking. If it does, then that means it's uneven and you'll have to pull out what you've done. So I'm going to go ahead and work on this. I will meet you back up at the other end so I can show you how you can either end it, or if you want to do one more row of white, that's up to you. Again, this is very customizable with the border. I'm not doing anything fancy with it. I just wanted to put something on here because of this edge being at the bottom of your blanket. I wanted something to kind of protect this edge as well as the top part. Again, you do not have to do that. But I'm going to work my way down to the other corner. Maybe I'll just keep talking here with you. Now, I was able to kind of work into the chain 2 spaces, like into those little chains. It didn't always work out for me, but on the other side. I'm hoping that you guys are enjoying this video. More tutorials like this, maybe not so big, will be coming for like baby blanket size. But this was sized to fit me, not a baby. But again, you can always change how tall it is with the correct stitch multiple. I will tell you how many of the gauge on you would have heard me tell you the gauge at the beginning for how many rows I did and all that. I don't know. I'll have to measure this with the border. And then you can I'll measure how much the actual border was and take that off of there, like how much height it gave and all that. Because I did not measure it before I put the border on. I should have, but I did not. Again, I'm not used to doing this type of tutorial, so again, I really hope you enjoyed it. If you had a chance to purchase the pattern, wonderful. Again, it'll be up on my merch site for purchase. Eventually, when I have the time, I will start putting up the free ones as well. I do have one free one on there right now, which was the chevron, the V-stitch ripple blanket that I made. I just gave the stitch tutorial for it and how much, the stitch count and all that. I did not, because that was kind of a, what do I want to say? Kind of a last minute thing that I did. Well, not really last minute, but close enough. My mother-in-law's son's coming. When you see this, it'll be the next week, so not too much further. And his kid is having a kid, so she wanted to have blankets for it, and I said, all right. Well, I showed her what colors that I had that would be okay for, boys that weren't too girly. I don't even know what that means, to be honest. Colors are colors. Doesn't dictate boy or girl. My husband doesn't mind wearing pink. Ugh. You've never seen him wear pink, but he has a nice pink polo that he wears on occasion. This blanket does not fit on my desk very well, so I have it kind of in my lap while I'm working on it. And pardon all the hair on here. This is mostly my hair falling out. There might be some dog hair too on it, but that's, here nor there type of thing. So unfortunately, that's what happens when you have pets. You get their hair all over everything. But yeah, I mean, And when you work the next round, you won't have to worry about if, you know, you should be able to get that pretty even, and you don't have to worry about, you know, trying to find a spot to put the stitch because you've already got a previous row of stitches. Like I said, I'm going to be doing black on my next border round, and you could also do a neon color if you wish. I know I didn't think I said that, but it is a possibility. If you've got enough, or you could mix up the neons, do one side one color, one side another color, you know, it's all in how you want to finish your blanket. If you did not want to put a border on it, you did not have to watch this part of the video. If you just wanted to know how to do the stitch pattern, that's quite alright too. I'm trying to get this worked up here evenly. But sometimes it just doesn't work out like you want it to, so. Next week I'll have another stitch tutorial for you guys. It'll just be a regular stitch tutorial. It won't be anything like this, because I have to get some other projects done now that this is pretty much done. So yeah. Well, this one's just not wanting to work with me here. Okay, that's fine. If you can't get your hook to work into the stitch, you can always work around it like I just did. Again, this is very customizable. I'm still trying to figure out this white yarn, because this white yarn is actually not available on Premier's website unless you get the Just Premier value. I think that might be the closest you're going to get, because this was the for just £1 that was available at Dollar Tree for a short time. And I don't know, because it's on the thinner side of a 4, in my opinion. Now, alright, I guess I'll just do that. There we go. Okay. I might test this by Yarn's wraps per inch tool, because I really feel like it's closer, not quite, but I think it's a little closer to a DK weight. That's just my thought. If you bought this from the Dollar Tree when they had it, did you get all the colors that they had to offer, or did you only get a couple of them? Because I think I purchased every one of them, and I actually got 2 of the white ones. They had green, white, and a blue at my store by me. And I was very fortunate, because they don't carry yarn on a daily basis at the one that I went to. I have Dollar Trees all over where I live, but to, you know, alright, I think we're going to just, that was an interesting one that I did here. That's a very thin stitch. And my husband just came back, so I will have to meet you back up with you guys at the end here to show you how to finish off this round of white, this part of the border, and I will catch you back up here in a little bit. Alright, I'm getting to the end of this side, back up to the top of the first side here with the white. My husband is relaxing right this moment with our daughter in bed after his ride out today. I thought maybe he would have been gone longer than he was, but that's okay. He didn't want to go too far, and so he just stayed in town. Right. Again, I hope you all are enjoying this tutorial. If you're going to make anything with this stitch pattern, pop a picture on the Facebook page or send it to me in the email. Really like to see how you guys make yours, and if you do anything different with the border other than the basic double crochet border. If you add fringe to it, if you make it for a baby, if you do go on with the chain 2 part, try to grab both loops. If you can't, that's okay. Alright, so now we are at basically the corner. So I just did this one here. I'm going to jump over to where we first started and put 2 more double crochets and a chain 1 there. And then I'm going to slip stitch into the top of the chain 2 from the start of the first round. And then I'm going to fasten off. So we're going to go ahead and get into this the best we can. And put 2 more double crochets. 1 and 2. Chain 1. And then slip stitch into the top of the chain 2. I'm going to go ahead and remove my stitch marker. And slip stitch, which can be a little tight here, but that's okay. Come on, work yourself. Okay, look, come on, don't make me mad. There we go. Okay, slip stitch and tie off. Now you can do another row of white if you want to. I'm not going to. There's my scissors. I knew they were here somewhere. Go ahead and leave a tail to weave in. And that is the end of a row, the first border of white. Now you can either weave this in right now, or you can hide it with black. And I'm basically going to do the same thing, going around, attaching the black into that top of that chain, the slip stitch, or actually, you know what? I'm going to start it right here into that very first double crochet after the slip stitch. So I'm going to go ahead and get my black. My hook through that stitch, and what I might do is actually cover this up going down this direction because of how it pulls to this side. So I'm going to go ahead and stick that in there. Get my yarn attached. And chain 2. Okay, now we're going to do basically what we did before. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, So we need to do one more double crochet into this first spot right here. Again, you can cover up your tail if you want to. You don't have to. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I'm sorry if I'm getting off screen here. And one more for 5. Now, when I come back around, since this should have been my first one, this here is basically to get me up to the top of this one. So it's still going to be 6, because we're going to go ahead and put one more double crochet into this slip stitch, because that's the start of this right here. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and go back and do it from there, from the slip stitch. Alright, so let's go ahead and pull that through. So that did not work out like I thought it was going to. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get the yarn attached right in that slip stitch the best I can. Okay, there we go. There we go. And again, I'm kind of doing this as I'm working the borders, so I'm sorry if I go back a few times. But, alright, now, come on. Alright, it's not gonna cooperate with me, is it? No. Okay, there we go. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and chain 2. 1, 2. You can mark that stitch if you want to. I'm going to, because this is a darker yarn. And I'm gonna put one more double crochet into this space right here. The best I can do. Kind of gets stuck right here. There we go. Okay, so that's 2 double crochet. We're gonna do another 4 to get to this point, to right before the 3 double crochet together. That's 2. Come on. 3, 4, and 5. And then we're going to do the 3 together, the 3 double crochets together. So yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, go into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. You'll have 3 loops on your hook, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yarn over and pull through all 4. And then we're going to do 10 double crochets and then our peak. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now we're going to do our peak, which is 1 double crochet, chain 1, 1 double crochet, into the chain 1 space, and then we're going to do 5 double crochet down to the valley, one, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I missed that one. See? That's very easy to miss when you're going in the same direction that the previous row was going. So let me go back and do that again. So that was the peak. That's the chain 1. And then into this next stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then 3 double crochet together. And that's the repeat all the way down to the corner. And I will meet you there to show you how we're going to do the corner for the round 2. Okay, so I'm getting down to the end of this second round for the border. I just did my 9th double crochet after my last 3 double crochet together. So I'm going to do 1 more double crochet here. So I'm going to go ahead and get that done. That's 10. And then we have the peak here, kind of. Not really. Yeah, that. Okay, so then we're going to do 1 more double crochet into the next one. There's not a chain here. Oh, there is. Okay. So, I'm sorry. So, we're going to go ahead and do 2 double crochet into the double crochet, chain 1, double crochet into this space right here. So we can get our turn. Oh, not single, crystal, double. 1, chain 1, go back in there. Now, if you are going to make more to the border than what I did, which is only the 2 rows, instead of doing just 1 double crochet here, you would do actually 2 double crochet here to make it 11. But I'm not going to do this on this one. I will notate that in the written instructions, and I will put it up in the corner so you will remember that if you're going to do more than 1 round or 2 rounds, instead of doing just 1 here for 10, you'll go ahead and do 11 as well, and then do your corner with the double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. Now we're going to go ahead and start the side over here. Now don't forget to get this first double crochet right here. This is the first one, and then just do 1 double crochet into every double crochet from the row before all the way down to the bottom, and I will meet you up there. I'll meet you at the next corner. I'll do a couple of these to show you here. It's 1, and my black yarn is just wanting to go everywhere. Now, if you guys need me to do another tutorial for the border, I will do one in lighter colors for you. But you basically just follow the pattern for the top and the bottom with the way that you're working it. And then on the sides, you just want to make sure that your double crochets are evenly spaced. I'm just making sure that that's good there. Okay. And then on the next round, and whatever many rounds you want to do, that's up to you. If you want to add fringe, that's up to you. If you decide to add fringe, I would suggest putting them in the chain one spaces. So not right here, because this is going to be the top of your blanket, but like for here all the way down, you could add tassel or fringe to the blanket if you'd like to do that. As well. I'm just going to talk while I'm working on this. I'm hoping it doesn't take too long to get to the other end. I might stop it and meet you back down at the other end here, but we'll see. And again, you can, like I said, you can do however many rounds of this that you want. You can make the border as thick as you want, as skinny as you want. You can do it all in white if you want. You don't have to add the black to the border. If you've got enough white yarn, by all means, go for it. I will have come out with a video that will be posted yesterday to let you know exactly, roughly how, not exactly, but roughly how much of each color I used. So if you want to make it just like I did, you can order it from Premier Yarns directly. If you want to make it bigger or smaller, you will need to adjust for if you need more or less yarn. I really like this neon yarn from Premier. I was trying to think of something fun to make with it because it is a solid color. I kind of hope they may come out with like a self-striping neon. That'd be cool. But I guess it all depends. I know there's a couple yarn companies that do have neon yarn that's self-striping or variegated. But I mean, I have some of it, but I don't know what to do with it because I don't have much of it. If I decide to make this in like a 3-weight yarn, I will let you know, like, the difference in how much yarn you would need. And I'm trying to stay in focus. I really am. I'm sorry that if I'm getting out of focus there. My black yarn is not being very nice with me right this moment, so it's catching on everything off of my desk. It's in a bag on the floor, so it's protected, but when I keep pulling more to work with it, it just keeps getting caught on stuff. So, and neither one of my girls are in here right now. Not that they'll be seen, but my little co-host Brownie Bear is not in here with me. When her dad came home, she just decided she wanted to go there. I like how the white really brings more out of the neon color on the edging. That's why I used it in between the black spaces. And right here it kind of looks like the Chevron gas station. I don't know why I thought of that, because they have that Chevron logo. And my daughter is... somebody's calling my husband on Facebook. And my daughter wants in. Alright, I'll meet you guys up at the end of the row to show you how to do the corner down there. Alright, so I'm coming to the end of this side of the blanket. Top side, bottom side. And we're getting close to the corner. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up this last few double crochets here. And again, however you want to do however you want to space your border, your double crochets on your first round. Your second round, you'll just do one double crochet into each stitch down on the sides. And then when you get to the corner, again, this is kind of hard to see, but we're going from black into white. We're on our last double crochet right before the corner. We're going to use that one more double crochet, and then into the chain one space we're going to go ahead and do one double crochet, chain one double crochet. So double crochet, chain one double crochet. And now we're going to be working on the bottom of the blanket, or one of the sides of the blanket. It all depends on how you decide to use the blanket. If you do it from width to height, then this will be the bottom of the blanket. Do not forget this first double crochet after your corner. We're going to put one double crochet into that one. And then we're going to put one double crochet into the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. Because we did do an extra 2 stitches here, we're going to go ahead and just follow this along until your peak, and then you do a peak here. And then it'll be 5 double crochets down, counting this one here, 5 double crochets, the 3 together. Basically going to follow what you just did on the previous row with making your peaks and valleys. So I'm just going to go ahead and go down this way to go up to the peak, which when you're working the blanket will actually be a valley. You're doing opposite what you did on the other rows. I'm trying to stay in focus here for you, but it's kind of hard. If you decide you want to do a different border, that's fine too. Just make sure that you have the right stitch multiple if you're doing multiple rows after your base row for the border. Okay, I just did the last one right before the chain one space. So we're going to do one double crochet, chain one double crochet into that chain one space. One double crochet. And then we're going to do the 5 double crochet going down to the 3 together. And I need to move this because I'm getting it caught underneath here. Okay. Oh, don't forget that first one. I almost forgot it. Don't forget it. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, and one more to make 5. And then the next one is going to be the 3 double crochet together. So yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, insert your hook into the next space, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, go into the next space, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through all 4 loops on the hook. And then you're going to do 10 double crochet up to your next peak. The only difference is after your corner, you will have a couple extra stitches to get through to get to your peak at this one. So I'm going to show you here how it'll be 10 double crochets, and then I'll meet you back up at the other end of this side. That's 1, 2, 3. This is kind of pulling down. There we go. Okay. That should be 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then we're at the peak, so it'll be a 1 double crochet, chain 1, 1 double crochet into this stitch. Into this space, I'm sorry, space. That one, chain 1, 1 more double crochet. Alright, and then don't forget the one that's right after that chain 1 space, because to find your stitches, it's actually before this part, the post. It's this piece right before that. So you just want to make sure that you don't miss that, because if you do, your stitch count will be off. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then that's 3 double crochet together. So yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Insert your hook into yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. You'll have 4 loops on your hook. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yarn over and pull through all 4 to complete that stitch. And then work back up to the peak, and I'll meet you at the other end before the next corner stitch. So just repeat that. 5 double crochet, 3 together, 10 double crochet, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet into the chain 1 space all the way down to the end, and I'll meet you back up to show you how to finish that corner. Okay, just finished my last valley, so I'm going to work my way up to my last peak. It's 1, that's 10 double crochets, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. My nephew is outside putting water in the bird bath he got, and he just sprayed the window with water. So if you heard that, that's what that was. Scared the crap out of me, so I jumped. Alright, now we're at our peak, so 1 double crochet, chain 1, 1 double crochet into the chain 1 space. And then this is going to be part of a valley going down. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we're going to do the corner here to turn to get to the other side. Now, I mentioned on the top when we started the black border part round, that if you were to do another row, so if you were to continue building upon what I'm doing, you will only do you'll do the 10 double crochets before the last peak, and then you'll just do that peak. You don't have to add an extra stitch there. You're already getting that extra stitch from doing the peak if you do another round. So I misspoke about that part, so I just want to let you know, and I'll show you at the end here what I'm talking about. So we're going to keep doing double crochets down to the peak, the corner here, to turn the work. I'm not trying to get you confused, but I did want to mention that I did misspoke about that section. So I just wanted to let you know. If you wanted to do another round of white, or if you want to put a round of one of your favorite colors from the neon colors, that's perfectly okay. Like I said, this is very customizable to however you want to do it. Again, you don't even have to do this border. You could do a different border if you wanted to. I will measure it I'll tell you how big it is without the border, and then how big it wound up being with the border that I did. So you have your choices. I was thinking about adding another row, but I decided not to. Just so it's a little more cost effective if you don't have the yarn already. If you do, great. If you don't, you'll have to purchase the yarn to be able to make this blanket. Now, if you have another company's black and white, that's fine too, but your gauge may be different than mine, so you may have to use a different hook size to get the same gauge as I did with the pattern. So, but the neon colors you will definitely need to get from Premier. All right, so I just did the last double crochet here before the corner to turn it, so I'm going to just put the double crochet, chain 1, double crochet into this chain 1 space here. Double crochet, chain 1, and double crochet. And then I'm just going to work on this side, just 1 double crochet into every double crochet along this edge, which is the bottom of the blanket. I mean, it could be the top. If you want it to be the top, you can make it the top. It doesn't matter. I was going to try to do something a little fancier with the border, but because it is a chevron style stitch, I couldn't think of anything else other than a basic border. Now I could have done something fancy on the edges where there was no change in the style of that. So again, if you decide to make this blanket, share a picture. Let me know if you used my border or you used a different border. I'm not going to be offended. If you used a different one or if you didn't put a border on it at all. You like just how it looked when it was done. And that's fine too. It's hard to put a border on these style blankets because unless you know how to, and I'm still working on that, to fill this part in with basically to make it even at the bottom, it's really kind of hard to, now if you're able to do that, go ahead and share a picture. Let me know that you added a straight border at the top and the bottom of the blanket. Or I should say sides of the blanket. But I will catch you back up at the end of this row to show you how I finish it off and fasten it off, and then I will let you guys go for the day. So I will be back here shortly to show you how I finished this side, because this is the last side of the blanket. So I'll be back shortly. Alright, I'm getting down to the last few stitches here, so I'm gonna join you here now, and I will show you what I was talking about with the first round of the first row round of the black, where I was talking about if you wanted to add an extra row to this border to add an extra stitch, but I was incorrect about that because you already get an extra stitch from the corner made, so you do not have to do that. I'm sorry that this was a very long tutorial, but if you just watched the how to do the stitch pattern, that is fine. I appreciate any part of the video that you watch. If you watch the whole entire thing, thank you for watching all of it, because I do believe this is going to be close to probably an hour and a half, if not longer. So when I get better with doing borders, it will probably go a lot quicker. But because this was something a little different, it did take a little bit more time to get the border done for you. So, alright, so we're at our last, we're going to add one more double crochet here, and then it's and I'm going to just weave in that end. I was going to try to cover it up when I went up this side, but I was like, no. So I will cover that up. We're going to go ahead and do that one last double crochet. And then into that next, this was a chain one space, we're going to go ahead and do the 2 double crochet. Double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. And then I'm going to slip stitch into the top of the chain 2 from the start of this round. And then we're going to slip stitch into that stitch. I'm going to try my best to do this without having to have any extra. Let's see here. Slip stitch into the top. Okay, that's that one there. It's a little harder to get through, but it's okay. Make sure you grab both loops when you're slip stitching. It is going to be a little tight, even if you use a different colored yarn for this. Come on. Let's see. Doesn't want to come through. Come on. It's one thing I like how black pulls colors out sometimes, but when it's trying to just... There we go. Okay. Finally. There we go. Secure it. Tie it off. Now, if you wanted to do another round of this color, or if you just kept going with white, that's fine too. You don't even have to switch to the black if you don't want to. But when you're done with your however many rows you want to do of your border, just weave in your ends, hide them, secure them how you like to do that. And that's it. And I will not be able to show you how big this looks. I will show you at the very beginning. So if you didn't see that, I'm sorry. But I work off of my desk for everything, so it's kind of hard to show you. I don't have a separate table I can go to kind of pull it out, but I will have the measurements on the written pattern for the finished with and without the border, so you know how big it is without the border. If you want to, you can also add fringe or tassels to the bottom and top, which are actually your sides of the blanket, because it goes the pattern goes this direction. So unless you decide you want it to go the other way, just make sure that you chain up enough for your width, and then you do the height, however many rows that takes for the height, but it'll look different because it's just going to look like some weird chevron style instead of the electric bolt for the electric slide blanket. So that is going to be it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm sorry that it took so long to get out, but now you can see exactly what I've been working on, what I've been keeping kind of a secret. I have shown it a couple times as I've been working on it, but it hasn't been, the finished part of it. It's been kind of a sneak peek sort of thing to get you kind of excited, but not show too much stuff in regards to what it's going to be when it's done. Because I didn't want to have an opportunity where somebody was like, "Oh, I think I can replicate that," and it not even be the right stitches or anything like what I did. If you want to buy the written pattern, it'll be on my merch site. The link will be down in the description box below. Anybody that buys it, thank you. And any thing that I get back from that will go back into the channel, whether it's to create more stuff on the merch site, or to get different crochet accessories, yarn, name it, books, so I can learn new patterns for you guys. But yeah, that's gonna be it for today. I'm gonna weave in my last two ends here, because that's the only ends I have left, which I'm so grateful for. Yeah, alright, so I will see you on the next Tuesday tutorial, stitch tutorial. It's not going to be obviously a blanket, because that takes some time to get done, but it'll be another one. So if you like today's video, please give me a thumbs up. If you enjoy my content and haven't already subscribed, please go ahead and hit that subscribe and then the notification bell, so you're always aware of when I put out new content. Until next time, I hope you all stay safe, stay warm or cool, and happy crocheting. Bye-bye.